Hello, checking and checked. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12, I think, or 11, 12-ish of the VibeCast. I'm never going to get that right. Of the VibeCast with Brent Pella. This week's episode is a vibe. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. My good buddy Max Kestenbaum stopped by. Hilarious comedian based out of L.A. He also produces a show called The Super Dope Show, which runs in L.A., Austin, Chicago soon, other places all over the U.S. Check him out, Max Kestenbaum. But before we get into it, I got a couple of vibes that I want to introduce you to. First off, Vibe Rosé. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's rosé in a bottle that I created. Isn't that fun? True story. I'll get into it on a different episode, but we are in launch week. This week specifically, if y'all like rosé, if you are 21 and able to order alcohol online, and if you're in California, that's especially important because upon launch, we're only available in California before taking over the rest of the world. VibeRosé.com to place an order. 20% off launch week if you follow the Instagram, VYBROSE on Instagram. Even if you don't have Instagram, I think you can still get a discount on the website. That's how we set it up. It's delicious. It's delicious. I'll get more into this in a different episode, but Vibe Rosé is the vibe today. Also the vibe today, Cacao Bliss. Cacao Bliss, dude. This is my favorite kind of like smoothie supplement type of thing. It's ceremonial grade cacao with MCT oil and a bunch of other amazing superfoods. It can help with anything from, relieving inflammation. It has a little bit of turmeric in it to giving you a nice energy boost, as cacao does, to just making your coffee taste delicious, man. And it's got black pepper and turmeric in it. So black pepper actually activates the turmeric, which is something I found out recently from falling down a YouTube rabbit hole. But real talk, it doesn't even taste peppery. It tastes like chocolate. It tastes like cacao, like really good cacao. CacaoBliss.com, the website where you can get a discount code. I actually just got that, and I'm very excited. Shop.earthechofoods.com/Brent. Shop.earthechofoods.com/Brent. If you don't know how to spell any of those things, I strongly suggest learning how to spell. Also brought to you by Nootopia, my favorite customizable supplement blend of nootropics. If you have not tried nootropics, I highly recommend, especially if you are a creative person or a workhorse and you suffer from procrastination or brain fog sometimes. What they do over at Nootopia, which is operated by Optimizers or owned by Optimizers, one of those things, they help you create a customized package of nootropics that are tailor-made for whatever strengths you would like to add to your brain function. Okay, so Nootopia.com/Brent to check out what they're all about. I'm on tour. I got shows coming up this weekend. I will be in Bloomington, Minnesota. The week after that, I'm going down to Austin to open for JP. The week after that, I think the week after that, I'm going to DC. Yeah, that's something like that. Oh, no, the week after that, I'm in Santa Barbara for a huge release party at EOS Nightclub and Lounge in Santa Barbara on Friday, July 1st. The weekend after that, I'm going to DC. And then at some point in there is some North Carolina, South Carolina stuff, followed by some San Diego stuff, Denver, Colorado stuff. And that'll take us through the summer to Florida and beyond. BrentPella.com/shows. I also have new merch dropping, so I know I'm asking everybody to spend all their money on all the things, but these are all worthwhile things, so choose your favorite and get some of it because I love it all. All right, let's get this shit rocking. Max Kestenbaum is a hilarious comedian. We had a great time talking about his kind of rise in the New York and the LA comedy scenes, talking about what's going on out in the world and how he's dressed like an assassin on vacation. So everybody, please welcome my good friend, Max Kestenbaum. Yeah, dude, this weekend was rough. It was rough. You go on the road a lot because you put on your own shows on the road. Yeah. So this weekend last weekend was New Jersey, New York, and Philly. And I had to rent a car.
You had a Sunday night show in Philly or whatever?
Yeah. And it was Pride Week, and that Sunday night show was on the same night as like the big Pride festival. And then also The Roots, the band The Roots.
Uh-huh. And they're from Philly.
They're from Philly, and they were in town doing The Roots block party on Sunday. So I got like 25 people that came out.
Oh man,
to the show.
How big of a room?
Big room.
Oh man,
it was like they split the curtain,
Yes.
Dude, whenever you see that happening as a comedian, so when people don't really show up for shows or like the show is light, a lot of comedy clubs will close off half the room to make the room feel smaller so that it's not just some huge canyon. And one of the most depressing sounds for a comedian is the sound of the ropes being pulled that the curtain.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I was just like, oh damn.
Hey, whatever. You know what? I guess.
But 25 is better than none.
Yeah, and honestly, man, I guess at the end of the day, it's the kind of a learning lesson to be like, hey, like actually, like, what's going on this weekend? Yeah. Like somebody do the due diligence to make sure this is a viable weekend. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so next time I'm definitely going to look. I have other one-nighters this summer on Thursdays and Sundays, so I'm going to look and make sure there's no parades or other festivals until the day I'm big enough to outweigh the parade.
Right.
And then the parade is going to be like, oh, shit, Brent Pella is in town?
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to call this shit off.
Right.
Yeah.
Pull up the curtain at the parade.
Exactly. Gay Pride.
Why does the Pride Parade have a curtain on it?
There's a picture of your face.
Everybody's at Brent Pella's show. So it was, but that wasn't really why it was rough. It was a rough tour just because travel stuff. Just like I had to rent a car from budget. They forgot to give me a toll pass, even though I was paying for it. And I was running up the toll charges.
Oh, man.
And I didn't realize until halfway through the trip. And then I got lost on the New Jersey Turnpike because it's designed like your small intestine. That shit is crazy. Have you ever driven in New Jersey?
I have, but not in the Turnpike. I have family in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, where it's a green pasture and just straight roads. So
is that where you're from?
No, I'm from here.
You're from LA?
I'm from 15 minutes up the road.
Where were you born?
I was born in Santa Monica, and then I was raised in Cheviot Hills, like right over here.
Cheviot Hills, nice.
Yeah,
good parks over there.
Great parks. Do you know where Palms Park is?
I do know where Palms Park is. Is that your stomping ground?
I literally grew up down the street from Palms Park. I walk out my house and make a left and go to Palms Park.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And where'd you go to high school?
I went to Beverly Hills High School.
Beverly Hills High?
Yep.
No way.
Yeah.
With anybody that we would know? That feels like a famous person in high school.
I don't remember interacting with the son or daughter of anyone famous. What I do remember is that later in life, I realized that it was weird, or that it was weird that I thought that everyone owned multiple houses. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
you thought everyone owned.
I thought everyone owned. I thought it was normal to have at least 2 homes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I remember people like in college. They're like, yeah, they're like, I grew up in an apartment. And I'm like, that's weird. Where are your homes?
Right.
So
you have 12 apartments?
Yeah, exactly. You have 12 apartment complexes. Is that what you're saying?
So were your parents pretty well off? Was your family pretty well off?
I grew up, I would say, like upper middle class, but then we definitely we lost it all. So I've known what it's like to have just ask for something and have it appear, and then I've known what it's like to have my mom pay for shit with food stamps.
What was the transition there? What was the evolution behind that shift?
My dad was a very successful lawyer, and he was representing this one guy who, while representing him, he learned that the guy made his money by screwing people over. And my dad is extremely, extremely moral, like as moral as they come. So he broke his own antitrust agreement with the guy and sued him, and was able to stop him from, I guess, conducting business in the way that he was conducting it. But because my dad broke his own antitrust agreement, the guy was able to sue us. And then he went into a giant depression and all this bullshit. And then he didn't bill anybody for 3 years. And then we owed like $5 million to the government, so we had to sell the house. Like all this.
Wow.
Yeah. So
is he okay today?
He's okay today.
You guys good today? Yeah. Are your parents still together?
They are separated.
Separate. Okay.
So my dad actually lives in Philly, and then my mom is here.
Oh, your dad lives in Philly?
Correct.
Why wasn't he at my show this weekend? That's kind of rude.
I don't know. I don't know.
You think he was at the Pride Parade?
We should go beat
his
ass.
Messed up, dude. Yeah. Oh shit! Right on. So Beverly Hills High, and then what did you do after Beverly Hills High?
So after Beverly Hills, I took a year off, and then I went to I went right to this college called Marymount Manhattan College. Marymount College Palos Verdes. It was this 2-year private school that my mom was obsessed with me going to. She did not want me to go to Santa Monica College for whatever reason. First of all, I should have never even gone to college.
Sure.
That should fuck that. That should does not never worked for me. Like
overrated.
Way overrated. And there's nothing that I could say that I learned in college I've applied to my life ever. Everything I've ever done or achieved has been on my own, white knuckling it and just charging charging forward. You know? But went to 2 years at that school, took a year off, then finished up at Marymount Manhattan College in New York because that was the first school that accepted me. I was like, cool, going to New York. And then stayed in New York for 5 years total. I thought I was never going to leave, but then my family started going through the sale of the house and all this stuff. And that's when I moved back to LA and been here ever since. And I could never, ever, ever imagine living in New York. I love to go visit. Yeah. But bro, have you seen the Pacific Ocean? Yeah. That shit's nice, you know?
It's nice.
What, would you rather be stuck in the dead of winter in February with an Arctic blast? Fucking just.
What are the good months of New York? There's like a couple good weeks, right?
There's a week and you have to get lucky.
Where it's like beautiful weather, really nice, easy to be outside. And everything else is you're either melting or you're freezing.
Yes. Like we have our brand team meeting in 2 weeks in the city. And it's going to be cool to be in New York, but like, bro, I'm going to have to take my balls and scrape them off my leg with a spatula. It's going to be so hot. You know,
yeah. You're going to have to powder up.
Yeah, 100%.
A brand team meeting for Super Dope?
So when I'm not doing comedy, I am the Los Angeles brand ambassador for this one rum called Santa Teresa 1796.
Cool.
So we have our brand team meeting in New York.
You're dressed very on brand.
Hey, what's up?
You're actually
you guys want some fucking rum?
You're actually, bro, you're dressed like an assassin that's trying to keep a low profile.
That's what it is. I'm like a Russian hitman who goes to therapy. You know?
You're dressed like a hitman that's on vacation in Hawaii.
Exactly. It's like another Mai Tai.
You look like you're about to come up from behind and kill someone then go drink a Long Island iced tea.
Who knows that I already haven't?
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So, all right. So Beverly Hills High. Because I want to, we're friends, but I want to know your story. Sure, you know what I mean? So Beverly Hills High. Did you have any interest in comedy back then? Or theatrical interests?
I was always in theater.
Okay, because I feel like Beverly Hills High would have a theater program.
They did, and they were known for that. I think that's still a big deal there. But when I was little, I had a tutor, and I guess I said to her that I liked stand-up comedy when I was like 11. I don't ever remember saying it, but she brought me this tape, a cassette of Robert Klein. Okay.
Yeah. And I remember he went to college with my grandfather. They were best friends.
No fucking way, dude. That's crazy.
Alfred University.
No fucking way.
In upstate New York. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So she fucking gave me this cassette, and I remember I put it in, and I played it. I remember laughing hysterically at all these jokes. I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. And then I remember I just started paying attention to comedy, right? And then when I was in college, just fast forward all these years, I was always doing like some improv shit or whatever. Like anytime there was a chance to get up and perform, I would always do it. Right. Mm-hmm. And like growing up, Jim Carrey was my favorite fucking person. I love Jim Carrey. Anyways, I'm in college one day. I must have been cracking jokes or doing some whatever the fuck. And this girl comes up to me. She goes, "Hey Max, I think you're really funny." And I was like, "Oh, thanks a lot." And she goes, "Do you want to do my comedy show?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, stand-up comedy. Do you want to do stand-up comedy? Do you want to do my show? I was like, "Sure." She was, "All right, cool. You're gonna do it at the Comics Club in New York City, which was on 4th Street and 4th and 9th, which no longer exists." But I remember I wrote a set, and I remember I was, oh my god, I'm doing stand-up comedy. Jerry Seinfeld wore a suit, so I threw on a suit. I got like,
no way.
Oh, bro, I fucking dressed to the nines, like, and I walked in, and I thought I was doing the main room. They're like, main room. They're like, you're doing a small little dingy room, right?
Yeah.
I walked down. It was this hellhole dungeon place, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Just the lights were flickering, right? And there was like 12 people in the audience. My cousin and his 3 friends came. And I remember everybody went up and they bombed. And I got up and I crushed for 5 minutes, straight down the line, straight through.
And this was your first time?
First time.
What were some of your jokes?
I just had this entire bit about what it's like to be on the subway in New York. I was like, you get on, and I just impersonated a homeless guy. I impersonated the sound effects. I did this whole bit of like even how walking to the subway is hard. And I impersonated, these 2 Puerto Rican girls. I was describing like how you have to charge down the street and kick babies and punch homeless people. This whole thing.
Yeah.
And everybody laughed, and I remember they came up to me and they were like, "Yo, like you were so funny! Oh my god, that was awesome! How long you been doing comedy?" I was like, "How long?" It was my first time. Yeah. I was like 10 minutes, 5 fucking minutes. And they were like, "What? Why are you lying?" I was like, "Lying?" I was like, "What do you want me to say?" So then I just started calling all these comedy clubs in New York. Like I would just like call the Comedy Cellar, and I'd be like, "Hi, my name is Max Kestenbaum. Can I perform at your club?" And they'd be like, "No."
Yeah.
And then
The confidence of a new comedian.
Well, I had no
is unmatched.
Yes,
but you think
don't know.
As soon as you make somebody laugh like a little bit, and it's one of your first times, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this forever. I'm the best. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Because you're and it's arguably it's reasonable to think that way because you're in an open mic room where 90% of people are trash and they're doing badly. So if you do well within your first couple times going up, your confidence is. I remember being a couple months in thinking, oh my god, I can't wait to headline Caroline's.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I didn't even go to an open mic ever when I lived in New York.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing because I was getting booked on so many shows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yeah, I actually never even realized that was the thing you had to do unless you moved to LA because then whatever. But yeah, I called the Gotham Comedy Club and I was like, hey, what's up? Can I perform at your club? And they were like, can you bring 5 people? I was like, sure. I didn't know that like that, that was a thing. Anyways, brought 5 people, did well, called them again, did well, and then they just started booking me. And I just started like
getting in the rotation.
Yeah,
nice.
And I didn't even realize what that was at the time. I was they'd be like, hey.
That was New York, yeah?
Yeah.
And so, where was college for you after those 2 years at the?
So first 2 years of college was in Palos Verdes here,
right?
And then the second 2 years was in Manhattan.
In Manhattan,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
At a 4-year school.
At a 4-year school,
cool.
So I finished up there. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. And then
So you were cruising through Gotham. They folded you into the mix, and then from there you were just kind of performing. Then you were a New York comic.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is I still didn't even. This is hard to describe because I still didn't even understand what it was that was happening. To me, it was just this like thing that just kept popping up. This wasn't a big deal. I didn't understand the context. I didn't understand what this meant or what this could lead to or anything. They just kept calling, and I kept showing up. It was that simple.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I had no clue that I could have asked them to refer me to other clubs or anything like that.
Right.
That's how young and dumb I was.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so when did you go from New York to LA?
2013 is when I moved back.
So you weren't in New York for very long then.
I was there for 5 years.
2008
to 2013.
Okay.
Yep. And then I stopped comedy for until I guess 4 or 5 years ago.
So you took some years off.
Yeah, so when I moved back to LA, I asked some people to get me some spots, and the guys that run the Secret Show at in Culver at Blind Barber, I got booked on a spot, but I don't know why I just didn't show up. This was 12 years ago. I just didn't show up, and then I was like, whatever, and I started focusing on bars and restaurants where I wanted to be a restaurant owner, and I was doing the whole bar world and this and that. I just dropped comedy. But then my ex-girlfriend, she started getting into comedy, and I remember I went to one of her shows, and I was like, man, I used to be pretty good at this shit. I was pretty good, you know what I'm saying? I had some skills in this shit, you know.
Yeah.
Right? I went to open mic and I was like, this is weird. I've never done this before.
Right.
And I fucking bombed.
Yeah.
It was at Echoes on Pico. It was just a dirty, evil hellhole, still is. But
it wasn't Echoes Under Sunset?
It wasn't. But I did go to that one time.
Was it before or after Echoes Under Sunset?
After.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. But I remember I did that shit and I was like, yo, this is not how this goes.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. 0%.
Uh-huh.
And then that was it. And then I started running around. I was like, hey, I started getting into the open mic scene, which, there's only one way to get to where you want to go. It's through, right?
Yep.
So I started doing open mics and I was like, this is horrible. I'm just going to start asking people for shows. But nobody knew me.
Right.
So I started asking people for shows. And they give you that cross-eyed fucking look.
Who are you? Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
And then I remember one time I asked somebody to be on their show and they gave me this really snippy response. And that was the moment that I was like, fuck this. I'm making my own show. Fuck all these people. Suck my dick. I'm making my own fucking show. I don't ever want to hear no again.
And was Super Dope born from that?
That moment.
That's cool. Because
moment.
Super Dope is one of the best shows in LA.
Yes, it
it's
is.
right up there with Don't Tell and any other indie shit. I mean, those are my two favorites. Is y'all and Don't Tell.
Yeah, man, I'm very proud of it. But that's how that should happen. And I just never stopped. I just never fucking stopped.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. What do you like between New York and LA? Those are two very different comedy worlds.
So I have not performed in New York since I was a wee lad. I have a
Oh,
bunch
really? Okay.
yeah, so I actually have a bunch of spots lined up next week when I go.
Nice.
Just because like if I'm gonna be in New York, like I like you bet your ass I'm gonna fucking get these spots. I don't care what work has going on, bro. I'm about to sneak the fuck out. Are you kidding me, bro? And like Monday is my only like technically like my actual free night, so I got spots set up.
Oh, there's probably a ton to do on Mondays.
I got Grizzly Pear, I got Stand Up New York, and the Stand.
Cool.
All lined up. So I go 1, 2, 3.
Great.
So that
Great.
way.
That's the cool thing about New York is everything is so condensed and tight that you can do a couple really great spots in a row.
Oh yeah.
Whereas LA, maybe two.
Maybe
2 great spots in a row. You do 4 or 5 like not great spots in a row in LA, but you got to drive 50 miles, 100 miles.
Yeah. Where's your favorite spot to perform? Because you have been all over.
Yeah. My favorite spot of all would be the Tempe Improv.
Okay.
Because have you been there? Have you played Tempe?
No.
Dude, crazy. It's like a theater. It's like a 450 seat theater, and they have a balcony seating. So it's this double layer theater environment, and when it's packed, the laughter is like a wave. It's just like you like see it coming like the sandstorm in the Mummy.
Shit.
Just it envelops you. Yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing. I love that. In LA, I love the Improv. The Improv is probably my favorite place. Also West Side, but I haven't been there in years. I haven't been back to the West Side Comedy Theater in years. And really any like outdoor show in LA. LA is the king of outdoor shows.
Do you like outdoor shows?
I do in LA. I like outdoor shows in LA. Other outdoor shows in other cities that I've done haven't been super dope.
Nice one.
Nice. But the outdoor shows like backyard shows in LA, I think LA is like the king of that.
Okay.
Yeah. And New York I would say is the king of like small bar dingy club
100%.
shows, you know.
What's it like performing like I guess at your level now in New York versus LA, or like I know for me personally, like I think Chicago is one of my personal favorite places to perform.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't performed there enough to say.
It's cool as shit.
Yeah, I really want to.
They're just like, yeah, comedy.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
It's a big comedy city for sure,
and
huh?
You're just like, what? And
Yeah.
like, haha. You're like, I didn't even say anything. Oh my God, that's so funny. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, so New York, I haven't been back to New York. I was in New York actually a year and a half ago, and I did an hour, and it was cool. I ran an hour at Old Man Hustle in Brooklyn.
Cool.
But I don't know. I think I would need more time to really tell the difference. The main difference is like in New York, the audience is used to quick Mark Norman, Joe List style, punchline heavy jokes.
Yes.
Those guys are brilliant with their writing. You know, those two and what's the other dude? Sam Morril. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So those 3 dudes are like, I'm pretty sure they're all considered New York-based
100%.
comics.
Have you ever seen Sam Morril live?
No, but hysterical. He's so funny.
I saw him a few months back ago at the Improv. I don't know if you've experienced this, where you're watching somebody and they're so good, you're laughing, and then you just stop and you go, oh my God,
he's so good.
Like,
yeah.
how is this possible?
Yeah,
like, you stop laughing. You just you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So that's those guys. Yeah, especially Sam Morril.
Yeah.
So you don't see a lot of that in LA. In LA, you see a lot more theatrical people, like
correct.
me, like Dalia.
Yeah.
Brent Morin was super theatrical. Even Whitney Cummings is really animated. Fahim, you know, all these people, the top people.
Yes.
Above me, of course, they're all very like animated and actory.
Yes.
So that's the main difference, like performance wise. And then culture wise, I don't know what the main difference would be. I think LA is a little more like ego driven for sure, just because it's LA. But it's also like there's not a lot of dickhead people that I've met.
Right.
So,
do you find that the crowds in New York are more sensitive versus LA, or do you think they're the same?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think. I haven't done. I would guess LA would be more sensitive.
Figures.
Because New York is just like a melting pot of fuck off. Like people just like whatever. Yeah, that's if it's funny, it's funny. Whereas people out here are a little more like, ooh, that joke's not very inclusive. Yeah, or like, are you allowed to talk about that as a straight white guy? I don't know. Can you joke about that? No. So I think that happens just naturally more in LA. But you go outside of LA and people don't give.
I know.
Shit
It's
anywhere. It's
know.
crazy.
Do you know what's really interesting is Austin was very sensitive.
Yes.
They're like even more so than here. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Austin was sensitive. Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? What?
Are you talking about the show that we did?
The show that we did, but also like every time that I performed in Austin, they seem very, very, very sensitive. Just, oh, how could you? Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how could I, bitch? What? Like,
yeah.
Because I can.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how could you not laugh at the joke?
Right,
like,
right.
Fuck?
Yeah, dude, well, I just went to West Palm Beach, Florida, and I was opening for JP
cool.
Sears.
Cool,
and, I mean, his audience is wild.
Right.
They were, like, just laughing at anything.
Right.
I mean, I got jokes that bash on Trump, and then I got a joke where I called Joe Biden not alive. And to everything, they were just like, it was almost like a rally. Like,
That's
they were
amazing.
just so stoked and into it. So there's places in this country that people, you know, I think a lot of people don't recognize the diversity of like beliefs
100%.
in the country. And they think,
100%.
oh no, you know, there's just a small amount of people that don't believe in what I believe in. Nah, dude, there's a lot of people, and that's okay.
It's great.
It's very great. It's very great.
Should be that way.
It should be that way. As long as
100%.
we're all chilling. We don't have to be like, that's why I love touring to all these crazy middle of nowhere places like I was this past weekend in Rutherford, New Jersey, and Levittown, Long Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like, and even out in West Palm with JP, I get to see what people's reactions are to the jokes.
Yeah.
And then after the shows, people come up and just shoot the shit and talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they share things and they'll say things in conversation. And I'll be like, oh my God, this is so refreshing.
Yeah.
To hear somebody who like believes something that maybe I don't even believe in.
Right.
But they don't give a shit that I don't believe.
Right.
And I don't give a shit what they believe in. And it's fine because neither of us are playing for a trophy. You know, neither of us are like competing to win something. We're just two people that believe different shit.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Dude, and you've been touring with JP for a while now. Huh? That's been an awesome like
super cool opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's cool as shit.
Yeah, it was really cool. We met in 2019 at the American Comedy Co. in San Diego. Yep, we met down there. I was randomly featuring for him. A couple weeks later, I flew out to Austin just to shoot some videos, made some silly shit together. And then COVID hit, and we both hadn't really done a lot of political stuff. And we both kind of changed our own games and entered our own lanes. I think our lanes intersect pretty often with the messaging that he puts out following his mission, and then the messaging that I put out that I feel is aligned with what my purpose is. And those two lanes intersect sometimes, which has been super fucking fun. And then opening for him was really cool, 2020 and beyond, because he was going to places like Texas or Florida that were just open and they were letting people choose.
Man.
And I was like, fuck yeah, I would love to come open for you. And so that was a big part of growing my audience and getting my reps in through COVID. So that was really cool. And he's also a great fucking dude.
Yeah, he seems that way.
It's a great dude.
He seems that way, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. What else have you been doing with Super Dope? Are you guys on the road a lot now?
So I have been trying to relock some places. There's a place called the Lafayette Hotel in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So they're interested in doing a show. I got to send them the numbers from previous shows, honestly, like sometime today or tomorrow. And then I've been pitching hotels in New York and Chicago.
Nice.
So for me, I would like, in an ideal world, I would love to have a Super Dope show in LA, San Diego, but really LA, Chicago, New York, or just LA and New York at least once a month.
Cool.
That's and then as it grows and grows and grows, like, you know, like I can't fly out all the time. All right, cool. Listen, homeboy from New York who I've known, you know, you manage this shit.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. But I would like to. That's the goal for me, is to have Super Dope happening weekly in pretty much every major city. And I think that you know, like the to this day, the thing that comedy clubs don't have is when you go in to a comedy club, it's always dark and dingy. The food sucks. 9 times out of 10 times the service sucks, and hopefully the comedy's good, right? Like I want everything to be good. I want you to be in a dope room. I want you to have good food. I want you to have good drinks, and there has to be a stellar lineup. I want to flip the model. I'm actually putting together a deck to open up a comedy club. So that's something I really want to do. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What's that process gonna look like? Is that like a dream of yours to open a club?
It was always a dream to open up a restaurant, and I almost did twice. and then the one time when I was a lot younger, I got screwed out of the deal, and then the last time, 24 hours before we were supposed to crack ground, it was at the Shore Hotel in Santa Monica. Like it was a 2-year process. We got petitioned, all these things. We didn't know why, but it was wild, right? 24 hours before we were supposed to crack ground, we had just got our approval from the city of Santa Monica, and there's this other entity in California called the Coastal Commission. And anytime you're going to build something within 2 miles of the water, you have to get it approved by the Coastal Commission. So how it works in Santa Monica is this: is if city of Santa Monica says yes, we're cool, you show the Coastal Commission the Santa Monica said yes, it's just a formality, and they say yes, we're cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we showed those papers from the Santa Monica said from Santa Monica that said yes, we're cool, they're approved, to the Coastal Commission, and they were like no. They wrote some wild thing. They were like, venue is not built for the volume of the like some weird language, right? Just some.
Wow.
And we're like, what the fuck? The hotel lost a legal litigation that we didn't know about for falsifying their own operating permits. So So we got wrapped up in this entire fucking thing that we didn't even know was happening. So when they lost, like the Coastal Commission was like, "Yo, fuck you, people! What are you guys trying to screw more people out of money?" And we're like, "Wait, what?" Like, bro, I'm just trying to open the bar, dog. Like, what?
Damn.
What?
So you had the place and everything.
Everything.
What was it gonna be called?
It was gonna be called the Avery. It was gonna be this like high-end sports bar. It wasn't my concept, but I wasn't about to turn down the deal. You know what I'm saying?
And what were you gonna do there?
To be a managing partner and
nice.
Managing partner, and then essentially
like a rep.
Not essentially. I would be a managing partner and manage like the bar.
Cool.
Pretty much because that's like where my expertise lies.
Right.
Which
and probably have a hand in events and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this was also around the time that I was really getting back into comedy. So I remember being like, "Fuck! Like I really want to do comedy. Like I don't really want to be living in a refrigerator in a restaurant for the next 5 years." You know, so everything worked out as far as that goes. But the thing is I learned how to open up a restaurant.
Cool. So do you have a concept for a restaurant? You do. Or can you share it, or is it a secret?
I have a concept not for a restaurant, but I do have a concept for a comedy club.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
And but it would look a lot like a restaurant. It would not look like a normal comedy club at all. It wouldn't just be like stage, no.
Yeah.
It'd be very Art Deco, very modern. Like when you walk in, the lobby area would be all wood, like dark, just very masculine, dope ass bar. Dope ass food, like, and what I mean by dope ass food is it would be
handmade pasta by Brent Pella.
Totally. Pasta al mantecato.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be in the kitchen just fucking shredding Parmesan. It's fucking fresh, my dude.
Let me know when I'm on stage.
But it would just be like typical kind of bar style food, but it would be elevated food, which what that means is I would just get the best ingredients that I could have access to and put them together in the best ways to yield the most flavor. So that at least you're laughing at the fucking jokes, being like, "Damn, like this is the best burger ever!" And I just pop up behind you like, "Bitch, I know."
Yeah, that's great.
Bitch, I fucking know.
So Super Dope would eventually evolve.
I mean, if this happens, the Super Dope show would permanently be in my club.
Right. Fuck yeah, that's amazing. And what do you have a name for the club?
I don't.
Probably depends on where you put it.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I have not been able to come up with a good name.
What about like an area, like a
West
location? Side. So LA.
I would,
LA for sure.
But I would, yes, and I would love it to be on the west side.
Nice.
I think that this area of town, first of all, people are out all the time.
Yep.
There's tons of money, and there's so much comedy happening on the west side. But it's all indie shows, which is fine. But like, why is there not a major club here? Why is there not? And it's not like Brian Callen or Chris D'Elia won't drive to Santa Monica. You know what I'm saying?
They will because
100%.
Neil Brennan has his Tuesday show at the West Side.
Right.
But the West Side is kind of the only club on the West Side, right? What other one is there? That's like a club. There's Venice Underground. That's just a show. The Improv Space by UCLA closed.
Yeah,
I support that.
Yeah, I mean that's ideal.
What city needs a comedy club is Santa Barbara.
Interesting.
Santa Barbara does not have a comedy club. They do have over 60,000 people. in the city, ready to spend money. And it is a nightlife atmosphere city.
Right.
Everybody there is either on cocaine or drunk.
Nice.
90% of the day.
90% of the day.
90% of the day.
Well, it's all college students, right?
It is. It's college students and nightlife people,
right.
And I know most of them, and they're awesome people. But it's a party-heavy city,
Right.
And I was always like really confused as to why there isn't a comedy club there. They have a ridiculous amount of restaurants, amazing food, great nightlife, but there's no club. There used to be one spot that you could do comedy, and it was by the airport. I don't know if you ever did it. It was Santa Barbara comedy something. What was it called? My buddy used to run it. Let me see if it's saved.
I was actually
my buddy Maximilian Lockwood, if you know who that is.
I don't know.
But it shut down, and there needs to be a club there. There just needs to be. It would be a money printing machine. So take that and fucking run with it, dude.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
I was actually looking to pitch some hotels in Santa Barbara to run a super dope show there. The only problem is I know that like a lot of hotels, they're either really dingy or super high end.
Yeah.
There's and the whole reason I'm pitching a hotel is just so like I don't have to drive back that day. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. There are a couple good, really good, nice resorts.
Oh yeah.
Bacara, but those are like really high end, like pricey places.
Look,
but it might work there. It might work for that, you know, especially with your track record.
100%. And dude, all I ever need is just someone to say yes.
Yeah.
About any part, and then I just need a
window.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've been producing these shows.
Yeah.
So you've been like industry for a while. Like you're part performer, part talent.
Yeah.
But you're also part industry. How do you balance those two things? Because you got people hitting you up all the time to be on the shows, but you also have to write your own shit, and you're producing the shit.
Yeah.
How do you balance those things?
So as far as the show production goes, it has no effect or no does not take away from me creating material. Just because at this point it's just a system. I know exactly what to do to line everything up. It's like a little package, right? It's all tight, and then once it's time to promote the show, it's like you push go, and everything just goes. So there's not too much thought involved as far as that anymore. And then as far as writing material, that's something that I would say I more often than not write on stage. Like I don't write right. Like I don't sit there and do jokes like that. That's never really worked for me. In fact, when I do try to do it, it actually makes me feel bad because I'm not coming up with jokes. I'm not like I'm not like straight up set up punch. Like everything, I'm like you. I'm very act outy.
Yeah.
I mean, every single one of my jokes is basically an act out. Like the words plus the action. You know.
Same.
And I find that I write on stage and like I'll be excited about a topic, and if I just start sharing with you my thoughts on the topic, that's when the jokes start coming out. But if I go, I'm like, I really need to get a joke about this.
Right.
No, it's like if I literally I have to treat it almost like I'm just talking to a guest at a bar or talking to a friend.
Yeah, having a conversation.
Yeah. And then once I do that, it puts me out of joke telling mode and it puts me into like sharing mode.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then what happens is as I'm starting to like share my thoughts, like everything that I would normally tell you in real life just starts popping up.
Yeah.
And then I'll record it. I'll listen back. I'll listen to the to the audio, and I'll be, all right, cool. Take that. Take this. Take this. And then I'll start.
How painful is it to listen to yourself?
I not even a little bit.
It's not painful?
I can watch myself and listen to myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't listen to myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Every time I get off stage, the second I get in the car, play.
Oh, that's so good for you.
Every
do listen.
time.
I do listen to myself, but it's like it hurts.
Really?
Yeah, because all I think about is like, that fucked up. That wasn't as funny as I thought it was on stage. I can't believe I said it this way. My inflection was wrong. Why did I stutter on that thing? I just pick it apart like really bad.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
And I also don't like the sound of my own voice.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So it's tough for me.
What's your process? A lot of your stuff comes from the videos, huh?
Yeah, so when I first started, I kept a spreadsheet through my first 2 years of doing stand-up, and I logged in different columns. I had the place that the open mic was, the amount of time I did at the open mic, the jokes that I told, what went well, what didn't go well, and any follow-up notes. and I would do that for every. So I ended up having like over 600 places after 2 years of keeping a log like that. And I think that developed me like twice as fast because I still have the fucking spreadsheet.
No way.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it in years, but those 2 years, I like dug in so hard with the notes and the research that I was doing on myself that I think it sped up my process a little bit.
No shit.
Yeah. So then I stopped doing that because it became too much and it was a bit overwhelming. And my process now is so varied. It's so varied. It's like if I'm going through a month where I haven't written anything new in a while, then I will set myself down and I'll put a timer on the clock and I'll turn my Wi-Fi off.
Okay.
And I'll get on the computer and I'll just free write on the
I like doing
typing.
I like to do that from time to time too. Free writing. Just
and not with pen to paper because that's too slow for me.
Me too.
Yeah, and
Same
my
here.
brain moves too fast.
Same.
If I have something really good that I like, I'll write that down like 10 times in a row, even if it's just a phrase or like a line that I really like.
To drill it in there?
Yeah. And then like set list wise, for my headline shows, I split it into 3 acts. So I pretend I don't pretend, it's really what it is. My headline shows is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And I structure it the way Kanye West structures his albums. I saw a photo that he posted a couple years ago where he said Act 1, and then it had some songs, Act 2, and then some song, and then Act 3 and some songs. And that was the order of the tracks on his album. But he was conceptualizing his album as a 3-act performance. And I saw that, and I thought that was really interesting because, most feature films are based on the 3-act structure.
Yeah.
And so I had only ever thought that was a movie thing. And when I saw Kanye do it for an album, I was like, oh, well, that's brilliant.
That is fucking brilliant.
That creates a whole experience for the listener to one of these Kanye albums.
Yeah.
So why don't I do that for my headline set? Why don't I do that and so I started doing it for like 10-minute spots. I would go Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And then I kept going for feature spots, 20 to 25 minutes, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
So it just flowed and
so
all
it
made
just flowed.
sense.
And
it wasn't just like, an amalgamation of jokes. It
exactly.
was like, had structure. There was thought behind it.
So currently right now, I'm happy to share this. Currently right now, the 3 acts are Act 1 is very topical. It's very timely. There's some, relevancy to it. There, I talk about COVID, lessons learned from COVID, stories about what's going on now, the news and media and pop culture, stuff like that. That's Act 1. Act 2 is more personal life, about like grappling with the fucking audacity of adulthood and getting older, but not liking that you're getting older, and trying to come to grips with the terms of being a real adult now. And then Act 3 is a little loose right now, but it's kind of like a retrospective act, where I look back on life. I look back at like when I was a kid, or like and I look forward, I look ahead to like the future. So Act 2, there's a lot about me getting older, partying differently now, and staying healthy now, and all that kind of stuff. And then Act 3 is like, wow, all my friends are getting married, and this is what I think of relationships.
Dude,
and
oh man,
like drugs are exciting now.
Is this
and
what
like,
35 is, bro?
Yeah.
I have some similar shit, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like whenever I write a bit, I'll try to figure out which act it fits in.
Okay.
And then when it comes to writing, I improv a ton on stage.
Dude, I think that I think you will agree with this statement. When you say something, when you improv on stage and you get a funny line, it's pure. It always works.
Yeah.
That's why. And I have friends that yell at me all the time. They're like, "No, dude, sit down. If you have to sit down and write." I'm like, "Bitch, that is what works for you." Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy that moments ago you were like, "My process varies." Because it does vary.
It varies.
Yeah. Like there's some people like, I have to do this. All right, that's right. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's not what I have to do. So
right.
Stop trying to slam the way you do it on the way I do things. Bitch, you see me? Yeah. You see me on stage, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Like clearly I'm like listen, I'm still developing, but even from 3 months ago till now, I'm a different comedian. I think I am at that point where like the rapid development is starting to happen.
Yeah.
Where it's just
Yep.
But I'm very happy that you said that.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's like I'll record myself, and I was just listening to some recordings from a few weeks ago the other day because I do improv so much that I'll have a quick line or a button or like a crowd work moment that can work a million other ways, a million other times. So I'll write that down and I'll make sure to include that. And then as far as like what I do now too in my live show, my hour, there's a lot of media. There's a projector. Ideally, there's totally, a tech guy.
Totally
there's
like on brand for what with
there's characters. There's
as
impressions.
Brent as it gets.
Yeah,
that's fucking tight.
Yeah, it's
dude.
really fun. It's really cool. Yeah,
cool.
And it's fun when the venue can support the tech.
Yeah,
because if they can't, then it's still good. I still just do straight stand up. But if the venue can support the tech with a projector and somebody in the tech booth to hit the cues, it's starting to turn into like a one-man show type deal that incorporates some characters from videos. It's 70% stand-up still, but there's audio cues, there's moments. So ideally, it would be this bigger thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun
dude.
evolution, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm stoked on it.
Cool as shit.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
cool.
yeah.
So this tour this summer I'm on is I'm really putting it to work, this show, and putting it up as many times as I can. And it's really fun, dude.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude.
It's a really good time.
I remember the first time that I saw you was literally at a Don't Tell in 2018.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, man, this guy's funny. I got to book this guy one time.
Nice.
And
now we're friends.
And yeah.
How crazy is that?
It's pretty crazy. I remember
crazy.
You did the fucking the cocaine joke. Let's start a business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember laughing my ass off. Like, that's a fucking. I was like, good. And then
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
It's fun, dude. So with what you're doing now, is there anything? What do you like more, performing or producing?
I like them both. I like producing because it removes the power from the clubs. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't need to listen to you. I can do my own fucking thing. 2, it gives me the opportunity to put my homies on, right? And give people who should have more stage time. Like yes, there's definitely classes of comedians, right? But like I know a ton of funny people, of murderers, fucking murderers who just for whatever reason are not getting the spots that they need, are not in the club rotation. And like for me, being able to provide those opportunities, it really means the world to me, because I remember when I was starting out and like it was like slamming my fucking head against the wall trying to get spots. I wanna provide as much opportunity for all levels as I can. Granted, you have to be funny, what I'm saying? But like there's that, and then also I love performing. I literally last night. My work hit me up there like, yo, are you going to be at this one brand event at this brewery on La Brea? I was like, oh shit, I can't, because I had a fucking show. So I went, I did the show, and then I had another event at the salsa club called La Descarga. So I have a fucking branded event after this.
Yeah.
Right? And then it ends at 7. I'm gonna see. If I don't know one of my bosses is coming, right? So if she wants to go out, cool, I'll go out with her as much as possible. But then afterwards, I'll go
hit a mic or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm out here in these streets, cuz
you are, dude.
I am.
You really are.
I am, bro.
You cover the map, dude.
I cover the map. Bro.
You cover the fucking map,
I really
bro.
do. And hopefully within the next, foreseeable future, this will be the only thing that I do. But,
cool.
But for right now, like, bro, I wake up every day. I go, all right, cool. I have all these work things happening. Where can I slot in mics? All right, cool. I have shows on these days and these times. How do I arrange my work so that I'm able to manage that and then come here, do the show, go back to that, do a mic, bro.
Do you enjoy working in the alcohol world?
I do. As far as that goes, I'm very, very lucky to have the job that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I represent a very good product, which a lot of people cannot say.
Yeah.
So that alleviates a lot of the stress. 2, I've been in bars, restaurants my entire life. Like I almost opened up 2. I want to open up a comedy club. Like this is like my other world. This is what I fucking. I don't know anything. I know restaurants like the back of my fucking head. Yeah. So being able to be permanently on the other side of the bar and in a sales aspect is very nice, because I can come in, I can shoot the shit. You get a menu placement. That means the menu placement is when the restaurant Brent orders Santa Teresa and puts it in their mojito, for example, right? So that's my entire job, is getting on the menu, right? But like, cool. It just gives me the ability to be out. I don't have to be behind a desk. Yeah, sure, there's some admin shit. I'll have to deal with phone calls and this, but I'm not like, nobody's like, hey, can you send the TPS reports?
Oof. Yikes.
So-
No Office Space moments.
No.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. And you know, that's one of the big steps going into the rosé that we're launching is, which I've only talked about a couple times, but we're still in soft launch mode, baby. One of the big things there is like learning how to balance all that busy work with everything I'm doing in comedy. And it's really like surrounding yourself with the right team,
Dude,
working with the right people.
You can't do it in a vacuum, and it's about having the right team. And it's about to your point earlier, leveraging relationships.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing about sales, dude, is coming through on your word. If you say, hey, you know, this restaurant, for example, if you order 65 cases of Vibe Rosé, I'm gonna come here and throw a day party, every Sunday for the next whatever month. You better fucking be there every fucking Sunday for the next. Like it's all about coming through on the commitment, because 10 out of 10 times they are not buying the product, they're absolutely buying you.
Yeah,
they're buying their relationship, and you better fucking
deliver.
You better deliver,
yeah.
or else that's your ass, and you're just an asshole at that point if you don't deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and that's why this is so fun, because we are delivering. It's like we're gonna bring a rosé. We're doing a Don't Tell comedy show in Manhattan Beach on Friday. This podcast will be out by then. But we're doing that. We're bringing a couple cases down to a store in Manhattan Beach. The liquor store down the street wants to buy a case. Good. So cool. It's like
King's Liquor.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
so tight,
yeah. I brought a bottle down for him the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, give it to me. I'll see if it sells. I was like, "You're gonna sell it?" He's like, "Yeah, come back tomorrow. I'll let you know." I came back the next day. He didn't have it. He was like, "Yeah, I put it in the freezer. Somebody came in and bought it. $20." And I was like, "Cool. Do I get that $20?" And he was like, "No, but we'll do it." I was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's legal, but you know what? If it makes you a buyer, let's do it, bro." Isn't that funny?
That's amazing.
Yeah, hilarious. So we sold our first bottle.
You fucking did, bro.
Very illegally.
Yeah. Whatever, bro. A sale's a sale.
Sale's a sale, dude.
Even if,
as long as the person was 21.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That was good.
It was his establishment. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a fun journey, dude. We're doing all this product launch stuff and everything. This is we're passing these out at the show. The first people that follow us on Instagram get 20% off of their first order. Vibe Rosé, VYBROSE.
This is fucking cool, man.
But it's fun, right? It's a cool brand. I think it fits a spot in the market that not a lot of other brands fit. Because most rosés are just fancy and snobby, and this is kind of a high energy party brand. So we'll see how it goes.
It's awesome, dude.
It'll be fun.
It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
It's very, very.
See, my goal, what I want to do is have a winery property one day where I could do tastings and really where I can make pasta.
Are you big into wine like that?
I love wine. I'm still learning about the processes of making wine, but I mean, I know more than the average person at this point for sure. So I would love a vineyard with Pinot. What is my mom like? Sauvignon Blanc? No, Chardonnay. One of those. And then a different Italian red, like I don't think Sangiovese grows out here, but the other one is
Barolo Nebbiolo.
Yeah, that one. There's another one that starts with S, I think. Or no, Tarladego. I forget the name, but it grows up in Lodi. And it makes a really rich, dark red that goes great with like stewed ribs or like braised beef or something like that. Anyways, I want that so that I could cook pasta dishes on weekends. Yeah. And this is long term. This is like 20 years in the future. Once I have my millions, I would love to drop it on a property like that in Santa Barbara or up in Northern California, and just cook for people on down seasons. You know what I mean?
I do. I know you get down in the kitchen. I get down in the kitchen too.
We need to do a collab still.
Yo!
We need to do a collab still.
When?
Yeah. Are you doing any barbecues this summer?
Yes, I am.
You doing more? Keep telling me about those, because
cool.
anytime I'm in town, I'm going to come.
All right, cool.
There's I'm in town this weekend, and then one other weekend in June, the last weekend of June, and then I'm gone for most weekends of the summer.
We could do something last
weekend
of June.
Last weekend of June could be cool.
Yeah,
That's the like 30th, June 30th or something like that. Yeah.
All right,
dude,
cool.
fuck yeah,
dude.
yeah, man. So that's the goal. You know, I just want to have enough money to relax
I feel you.
and make pasta whenever I want.
Man,
You know what I mean?
I want enough money to wake up every morning and if I feel like spending 10 hours smoking a brisket.
What would you do if you won the lottery? Let's play that game, because somebody did just recently win the lottery, like within the past year or two, and it was like tens of millions of dollars. But I've also heard that most people who win the lottery end up like not having a good time, like not living a good life somehow. They get into whatever, gambling, fight with somebody, family member, divorce, blah, 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 and they're like worse off. Maybe not most, but I've heard that happening a couple times. What would you do if you won $100 million right now?
Pay off my entire family's debt and then buy everybody either a house or some kind of investment property.
Cool.
That's it. And
Nice.
then for myself, I'd buy a big house with a backyard. If my mom wanted her own house, I'd buy her house, or she could live in my house, and that's it. And then I'd literally, honestly, I'd buy investment properties and buy some apartments and just start doing that.
Nice.
And just live off the passive income and fuck off for the rest of my life.
You wouldn't perform?
I'd perform for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Super Dope and the comedy club?
Oh yeah. I mean,
You still do those things,
yeah,
but you wouldn't be working for the alcohol brand anymore, or would you? I'm talking 100 mil. Somebody, you get that much money right away. Are you still working?
I don't know. Maybe for like a. It's where my guts. It's funny. My gut is like when I just told you I'd fuck off. I went. That's not true. Have
Right?
to work.
Would you? Yeah. What would you do? Yeah.
I guess I would work because
Wow.
I don't know. I mean,
would you?
I would have to, because that's all I know how to do. Like,
but would you only work? Like, would you only work?
If
on comedy and the comedy club stuff, or would you still work for somebody else? That's the real question.
So if I won that amount of money and I could survive for sure and buy investment properties and live off and generate passive income or actual, large amounts of income, right? And take that money and flip it and just use it to generate more wealth, right? I would absolutely only focus on comedy. I would not work for anybody else.
Yeah,
for sure. But
nice.
The first thing that I would do is I'd make sure my family's straight. That's the first fucking thing that I'd do. I literally, I would, yeah. I mean, that's the first thing I'd do. I'd pay off everyone's debt, I'd buy houses. Everyone gets a house. Yeah. You also get this much amount to live in, to live. Do whatever you want with this. Like, it's yours now.
Yeah. First chunk would go to my mom. I'd give her 100 mil, whatever. If it's millions, I'd probably give her half.
Yeah.
I owe her quite a good amount of money up to this point. And then I just give a chunk to my sister, a chunk to my dad, a couple chunks to friends. After giving away, if it was 100 million tax free, after giving away, I'd probably give away 30 million of it.
For tax write-off purposes?
No, as gifts, just as a gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd probably end up with 70. I'd probably put like 20 to 30 in a safe deposit, whatever, for future generations. Mm-hmm. And then I'd have 50 to play with. And then, it's houses and paying off debt and buying a winery and making cool shit. And probably donating to some cool places, too, that need some money. Like maybe my high school or maybe Santa Barbara or maybe some areas that like need help. I'd have to look and do some research onto, where can money be tangibly experienced in a good way and have an immediate effect. There's a couple charities that do water initiatives. So Charity Water is one of them, water.org. It'd be nice to give a couple mil to both of those places and make some good water resources for people. But anyways, it's a fun game to play, Yeah. I have a weird fantasy of every time I see a Brinks truck, I just imagine it getting like totally fucking robbed right when I'm walking past it, or driving past it, and then I stop the car and grab a bag of money and then just keep going.
Yeah.
You ever think of that? Or am I the only one? Do you?
Oh, fuck no, bro.
I've had that in my head since I was a kid, dude. Since I was a little kid.
Like, what if?
Yeah, like what if, a shootout happened, nobody got shot, but maybe people got knocked out.
They were distracted. There's a bag of money over here.
There's a bag of money, a wad of cash, whatever. Take that shit and go. I forget what movie it was that I saw, but when I was a little kid and I realized that those armored trucks carried cash, I was like, oh my God.
That's the ticket.
That's it.
That's the ticket.
Yeah. And I've been trying to manifest this shit for years. Sometimes I meditate, just picturing an armored truck getting blown up.
So
Nobody gets
funny.
injured. Nobody gets injured. But yeah, how funny would that be?
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Fuck yeah.
That's my dream. That's my career goal. Bro.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right. We're
Yeah,
tapped.
cool.
We're doing good. How you feel, bro?
Good.
You good?
Yeah.
Where can people follow you? Super Dope Show and
Yep,
yourself.
At the Super Dope Show and at Mr. Kestenbaum. MrKestenbaum.
Kestenbaum.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to rocking more.
Fuck yeah.
I know you got people you have to go murder now.
Yep.
I can't. It's hilarious. The just your look right now is great.
Thanks.
You have the confidence of an assassin.
Thanks.
That's vacationing in Hawaii.
Thank you.
And I love that.
Thank you.
All right. Max Kestenbaum, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Fuck yeah, dude. And that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the VibeCast. I hope you like the vibe. If you dig the vibe, follow the vibe. The vibe being Vibe Rose. VYBROSE on Instagram. Get 20% off of our launch week. It's the pregame, baby. Welcome to the party. Earth Echo Foods has an amazing product called Cacao Bliss. Use this every day. I've been using it for a long time, and now I'm happy to actually be working with them so that I can share the love with y'all. So that's shop.earthechofoods.com/Brent and Newtopia.com/Brent to check out what nootropics are all about. All right. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Go look at the tour dates too. BrentPella.com/shows. Bye.